tile list component. All right, got a lot of good stuff to show you in this one. We're basically going to rebuild the tile list from the ground up and work our way down to the basics. All right, to start this off, what we need to do is import the fl.controls.tilelist, semicolon, and then the next thing we need to import is the direction. So import.controls.scrollbar direction, semicolon. Okay, and of course what I'm going to do is I'll show you how to set this up through Actionscript as well as putting it on stage, so you'll have an easier time dragging it around on stage instead of hunting down the perfect X and Y axis. All right, but for starters I'm going to show you this just so you know it. And what we need to do is we need to create a new tile list, which will basically be a variable name that will act as the instance name for the tile list. So what we need to say is var tilelist underscore comp for our variable name, colon tilelist equals new tilelist, opening closing parentheses, semicolon. All right, so of course what this basically means is this is the instance name for us to refer to, all right, for anything that we're going to do, like adding items, column widths, tile list height, all that good stuff. So what we need to start first is to add items to the tile list. So what we can say is tilelist comp dot add item, opening parentheses, opening bracket. And for starters, I'm going to show you how to put this in here by adding text. Okay, and then later on in the tutorial, I'm going to show you how to remove the text. And then, of course, as we work our way down to basically the basics of the tile list, then you'll learn how to remove the text from the tile list component. So if you're getting antsy, we will get to it eventually. Label component, opening quotation marks, image 1, closing quotation marks, comma, source, colon, opening quotation marks, images / image underscore 1.jpg, closing quotation marks, comma, my ID, colon, 1, closing bracket, closing parentheses, semicolon. All right, so what we're doing right here is we're basically taking our instance name for our tile list and we're going to add the items that we want in the tile list. And for starters, we're going to throw some text in there. So any type of text that you want to show up in your tile list would go right here in between the quotation marks. And the source, what we're doing here is we're setting this up to load in the images that we have locally. All right, of course, what we're saying is images / image underscore 1, meaning that the images are sitting inside of the images folder. All right, so of course this is where you would put, right, your full file path. So that's basically what that is. And I'll get to explaining what this is in a second. I just want to set this up so probably be a little bit easier to understand. I just go ahead and paste a few of those, and we need to change a couple things. I'm going to make this 2, 3. All right, so again, I want different images loading in here, so I'm going to put 2, 3, 4. All right, now my ID colon 1. Basically, what we're doing is we're setting up, a different item for every single tile or every single cell that gets rendered when you publish out an SWF. My idea is, when I was doing some testing, I wanted to find a cool way to show you how to either make it work with an external link somewhere on stage, or just show you a way that you can basically create a function for each specific cell. All right, and by setting an ID like this, what we're going to do is we're going to define what this is inside of an event listener, and we're going to actually refer to each tile by the ID number. All right, so we're going to set this up at 2, 3, 4. All right, so once we get that done, what we can do is basically set up the parameters of the tile list. Let's start this off by saying tilelist underscore comp dot column width equals 250, semicolon. Tilelist underscore comp dot row height equals 150, semicolon. TileList underscore comp dot column count equals 1 semicolon TileList underscore comp dot row count equals 1 semicolon TileList underscore comp dot height equals 400 semicolon TileList underscore comp dot width equals 250. All right, so I'm basically setting it up the same width as the column width. All right, now what this is, down here, all right, this plain height and width is basically going to draw the TileList component's background at this size wherever we put it on the stage. All right, so it's going to be 400 in height, 250 in width. Now the row count and the column count basically is, of course, you know, if we put 3 columns in here, it's going to set up 3 columns as the TileList with, you know, let's say if we set this at 3, all right, we've got 1 row. So it's basically not going to really work like that for starters. But if we wanted to have maybe, you know, 5 in a row, all we have to do is put 5, all right? And then, of course, what that's going to do is going to set it up as columns, all right, based on the number that this is chosen. So just wanted to make sure you have both of these in here. And, of course, we'll play around with this in a minute.